Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Artificial General Intelligence,
Okay.
AGI,
All right.
over the next 5 years.
Mm.
And our main source for this deep dive is a recent article by Sam Altman,
Oh, wow.
the CEO of OpenAI,
Right.
the company behind
Yeah.
some of the most advanced AI that we see today.
I didn't know that article.
He's got some fascinating thoughts on where this tech is heading.
I can imagine.
So let's unpack it together.
Unpack it.
So maybe we should start off by
Yeah.
defining what AGI actually is.
Right.
We're not talking about AI that, helps you choose a movie on Netflix or answers your questions in a search engine or something like that.
Yeah.
Altman defines AGI as a system that can solve increasingly complex problems on par with humans
Yeah.
across many different fields.
Across many different fields.
So think of it this way.
Okay.
Imagine a computer that can learn and solve problems just like a human, but way faster
Yeah.
and potentially even better.
Right.
So that's AGI.
Right.
So it's like having a super intelligent assistant
that could just tackle
that can tackle pretty much anything.
pretty much anything. Yeah.
And Altman is incredibly optimistic about
Yeah.
AGI's potential.
Right.
He sees it as the next step in human innovation,
Okay.
just like, electricity
Yeah.
or the internet.
Yeah.
Tools that totally revolutionize our
Yeah.
lives.
Revolutionize. Yeah.
He believes that AGI can be that powerful a tool to solve the world's biggest challenges and unlock new possibilities.
That's a pretty bold statement.
That is a bold statement.
Yeah.
So is it actually realistic to think that AGI
Yeah.
can have such a huge impact in just 5 years?
Right.
I mean, it still seems like it's something out of sci-fi.
Oh, it kind of feels very sci-fi still. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Altman makes a very compelling case
Okay.
based on 3 key observations about the economics of AI.
Okay.
So first, the more resources you pour into AI development, think computing power data, the smarter it gets.
Right. The smarter it gets.
Second, the cost of using AI is dropping incredibly fast.
Yes.
What might have cost $100 a year ago
Right.
could cost just $10 today.
Crazy.
And this means that it's becoming more accessible to everyone.
That's a very good point.
And then lastly,
Yeah.
the benefits of using AI are increasing even faster than the cost is decreasing.
So the value proposition is getting better and better.
Yeah. So it's becoming smarter, cheaper, and more useful at an unbelievable pace.
Yeah. It's hard to wrap your head around.
It really is.
It really is.
So I'm starting to see why Altman is so excited about the next 5 years.
Yeah, me too.
But how will this play out in our lives?
Yeah.
What will it actually look like to interact with AGI on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
Well, one of the most intriguing aspects of Altman's vision is the idea of AI agents. So think of these as like virtual coworkers that can help you with your job.
Right.
So let's take the example of a software engineering agent.
Okay.
Imagine having a virtual assistant
Yeah.
that can code debug and even design software.
Wow, that would be a game changer for anyone
Right.
working in tech.
Absolutely.
But wouldn't that mean that software engineers could lose their jobs?
That's a very valid concern. And it's something we should definitely dive into a little bit further.
Okay.
But Altman's point is that these AI agents won't necessarily replace humans. Instead, they could act as like incredibly skilled assistants, freeing us up to focus on the more creative and strategic aspects of our work.
So instead of fearing job displacement,
Right.
we should be thinking about how these AI agents can make us more productive. The valuable.
Yeah, more valuable, exactly.
Yes.
So it's more about collaboration, not replacement.
Gotcha.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit and consider the broader societal and economic implications of AGI.
Right.
Altman argues that while the world won't transform overnight, the long-term impact of AGI will be massive.
Okay, so give me some specifics. What kind of changes are we talking about?
So for one, scientific progress
Okay.
could accelerate dramatically. Imagine breakthroughs in medicine energy and countless other fields happening at a pace we can barely fathom today.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing.
This could lead to cures for diseases we thought were incurable,
Right.
new energy sources to combat climate change, and innovations we haven't even dreamed of yet.
Yeah, who knows?
So it sounds like AGI could really improve our quality of life and potentially solve humanity's biggest challenges.
The biggest challenges, yeah.
But I imagine there were some potential downsides.
Of course.
To consider.
Of course there are.
As well.
Yeah. One concern that Altman highlights is the potential for AGI to be misused by authoritarian governments for control and surveillance. Imagine a world where AI is used to monitor citizens' every move and restrict their freedoms.
Yeah.
That's a scenario we need to be very cautious about.
It's a chilling thought.
Yeah.
It's clear that we need to think carefully about the ethical implications of AGI.
Absolutely.
And make sure that it's used for good and not for harm.
Not for harm, right?
And while the potential for misuse is a serious concern, Altman also believes in the power of AGI to empower individuals.
Okay.
He proposes some pretty radical ideas, like providing everyone with a compute budget.
A compute budget.
To access and utilize AI. This would ensure that everyone benefits from this technological revolution.
Right.
Not just a select few.
Not just a select few, yeah.
A compute budget.
Yeah.
That's a new one for me.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Sure. So think of it as a way to democratize access to AI. Imagine if everyone had the same access to this incredible tool, regardless of their background or income. What could we achieve together?
That's a powerful thought.
It is a powerful thought.
So we've got this incredible potential for good, but also some serious risks to consider.
Right.
Sounds like the next 5 years are going to be pretty crucial in determining how this all plays out.
It's a pivotal moment.
Okay, so we've got a basic understanding of what AGI is, how quickly it's developing, and some of the potential impacts. Both positive and negative.
Both positive and negative.
Where do we go from here?
Well, now that we've laid the groundwork, let's dive deeper into some specific areas where AGI could have a significant impact in the next 5 years.
Right.
So let's start by revisiting those AI agents and how they could transform the workplace.
That sounds like a great place to pick up our conversation.
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
Welcome back.
So
before we get into the specifics of how AI agents could reshape the workplace, let's just take a moment to understand what makes them so unique. These aren't just your typical software programs. They're designed to learn and adapt, becoming more proficient over time.
So it's not just about automating tasks. It's about AI systems that can actually improve and become more sophisticated as they work.
As they work, precisely.
It's a bit unnerving, but also pretty fascinating.
It is. It is. And that ability to learn and evolve is what separates AI agents from traditional software. Now imagine a team of these agents working alongside human software engineers. The agents could handle the more repetitive tasks, like code generation and debugging, freeing up the human engineers to focus on higher level tasks like design, problem solving, and innovation.
I'm starting to see the potential here. So instead of replacing jobs, these AI agents could act as like superpowered assistants, making us more efficient and effective.
More efficient and effective,
But what about those whose jobs primarily consist of those repetitive tasks? Are they inevitably going to be out of work?
That's a critical question, and one that we as a society need to address proactively. The transition to an AI-powered workforce will undoubtedly cause disruptions, and we need to be prepared to support those who may be displaced. This could involve retraining programs, new forms of social safety nets, or even exploring radical ideas, like universal basic income.
It sounds like we're talking about a pretty significant societal shift.
It is a significant shift.
Are there any historical parallels
that's interesting.
we can draw on to understand how this might unfold?
Well, the Industrial Revolution is a good example. The introduction of machines in factories led to job displacement for many skilled artisans, but it also created new opportunities and ultimately led to significant economic growth. The key is to learn from the past and ensure we manage this transition more thoughtfully and equitably this time around.
That's a good point. It's not about resisting progress.
Right.
It's about steering it in a direction that benefits everyone.
Exactly.
So we've talked about software engineering.
Yeah.
But what about other industries?
Sure.
How could AI agents impact fields like healthcare,
education, or even creative fields?
Yeah.
Like art and music.
The potential applications are vast. Yeah. In healthcare, AI agents could assist doctors in diagnosing diseases, analyzing medical images,
right,
and even performing surgeries with greater precision. In education. Yeah. They could personalize learning experiences for each student, adapting to their individual needs and learning styles. And in creative fields, they could serve as collaborators, helping artists and musicians explore new ideas and push the boundaries of their craft.
Wow. It sounds like there's almost no limit.
It's pretty incredible.
To what these AI agents could do.
Yeah.
But I also wonder about the potential risks.
Of course, of course.
We touched on the possibility of misuse by governments.
Right.
But are there other ethical concerns we should be thinking about?
Absolutely.
Okay.
One concern is the potential for bias.
If the data used to train these AI agents is skewed or reflects existing societal biases, the agents could perpetuate those biases, leading to unfair or discriminatory outcomes. We need to be incredibly careful about ensuring that these systems are fair, transparent, and accountable.
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
It's not just about creating intelligent machines.
Right.
It's about creating ethical and responsible machines.
Ethical and responsible, exactly.
It sounds like there's a lot of work to be done.
There is a lot of work to be done.
In that area.
In that area, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's not just the responsibility of tech companies or governments. We as individuals need to be engaged.
Absolutely.
In these conversations, demanding transparency, accountability.
Yes.
And ethical consideration.
Ethical consideration.
In the development and deployment of AI.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential benefits and risks of AI agents in various fields. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that really sparked my curiosity earlier. Altman's idea, the compute budget.
Okay.
I'm still a bit fuzzy on how that would work in practice.
Yeah, it's definitely a radical concept.
Yeah.
And the details are still very much up for debate.
Okay.
But the basic idea is that everyone would be given access to a certain amount of computing power.
Okay.
Essentially a share of the resources needed to run these AI agents.
Okay.
This would ensure that everyone has the opportunity to benefit from this technology. Regardless of their income or social status.
I see. So it's kind of like a universal basic income.
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
But for computing power.
Yeah, for computing power.
It's a way to level the playing field.
Exactly.
And democratize access to AI.
Democratize access. I like that.
But who would manage this compute budget?
Right.
And how would we prevent it from being misused or exploited?
Those are excellent questions. Yeah. And ones that we as a society need to grapple with.
Okay.
One possibility is that governments could play a role in distributing and managing these compute budgets.
All right.
Perhaps through a system similar to public utilities.
That makes sense. But wouldn't that give governments a lot of control over how AI is used?
Yeah, that's a valid concern.
I mean, couldn't they potentially use this power to restrict access or censor certain applications?
You raise a valid point. That's why it's crucial. To have open discussions and debates about the best way to implement this idea while safeguarding individual freedoms and preventing abuse of power. Perhaps a decentralized, community-governed approach could be explored where control over these resources is distributed rather than concentrated in the hands of a few.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Sounds like there's a lot to consider.
There is.
When it comes to ensuring that this compute budget is implemented in a way that's both equitable and ethical.
Equitable and ethical.
But let's not get bogged down in the logistics just yet.
Okay.
I'm curious about the potential impact.
Right.
If everyone had access to this kind of computing power, how do you think it would change the world?
It's hard to say for certain, but the possibilities are truly exciting.
Okay.
Imagine a world where anyone, regardless of their background or resources, could leverage the power of AI to solve problems, create new innovations, and pursue their passions. It could unleash a wave of creativity and entrepreneurship on a scale never seen before.
It's a pretty inspiring vision.
It is.
And it ties back to Altman's overall optimism about AGI.
Right.
He sees it as a tool for progress, a way to empower individuals and create a better future for everyone.
A better future for everyone. I like that.
And while there are undoubtedly risks and challenges,
of course,
that we need to address,
we do.
I think it's important to approach this with a sense of hope.
I agree.
And possibility.
Hope and possibility, absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Okay.
We've talked about AI agents, the potential for job displacement, the need for ethical considerations, and the idea of a compute budget.
The compute budget.
It's clear that AGI has the potential to revolutionize our world.
It does.
In profound ways.
Profound ways. Yeah.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
Sure.
The possibility of AGI fundamentally changing our understanding of what it means to be human.
Oh, wow.
It's a pretty profound idea.
It is.
And I think it's one that deserves further exploration.
Absolutely. As we move into the final part of our discussion.
Okay.
Let's delve into that fascinating territory and explore the potential for AGI to not only transform our world, but also our very understanding of ourselves.
That's a perfect segue
All right.
into our final act.
Let's do it.
Stay tuned, everyone. Things are about to get really interesting. Back to the deep dive. We've been exploring these potential impacts of AGI, and now we're stepping into some really mind-bending territory.
Okay.
How AGI might reshape our understanding, what it means to be human.
It's a question that has fascinated philosophers for centuries.
Yeah?
But AGI brings a whole new dimension to the debate.
Okay.
We're no longer just pondering these abstract concepts. We're talking about technology that could fundamentally alter our cognitive abilities, our creativity, even our emotional experiences.
Earlier, we touched on the idea of merging human consciousness with AI.
Yes.
Creating a kind of hybrid mind. Is that something you think is actually possible?
It's certainly a possibility that many futurists and scientists are exploring. Imagine a future where we can enhance our brains with AI implants.
Wow.
Boosting our cognitive abilities, our capacity for learning, and even our emotional intelligence.
It's a fascinating concept.
Yeah.
But it also raises some pretty unsettling questions.
Right.
If we enhance our brains with AI, are we still fundamentally human?
Right. Are we creating something entirely new?
Or are we creating something new?
Yeah. That's the heart of the dilemma, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line between human and machine?
Right.
Some argue that these enhancements would simply be the next step in human evolution. Just like the development of language or the invention of tools.
So it's not about replacing our humanity, but rather expanding it.
Expanding it.
Pushing the boundaries of what's possible for our species.
Exactly.
But there's also the potential for this technology to exacerbate existing inequalities.
Right.
Yeah. What if only the wealthy or privileged have access to these enhancements?
That's a valid concern, and it underscores the importance of ethical considerations in the development and distribution of these technologies.
Right.
We need to ensure that these advancements benefit all of humanity.
Right.
Not just a select few.
It sounds like we're facing some pretty big choices.
We are.
About the kind of future we want to create with AGI.
Right. Big choices.
It's not just about the technology itself.
It's about the values.
It's also about the values and the principles.
And the principles.
That guide its development and use.
Absolutely.
We've been talking a lot about potential future scenarios.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about what's happening right now.
Okay.
What are some of the key milestones we're seeing on the path to AGI?
Right.
Are there any signs that it's actually within reach?
While true AGI, a system with human-level intelligence across all domains, remains a long-term goal.
Okay.
We are witnessing remarkable progress. In various areas of AI research.
Like, give me some concrete examples.
Sure. So, for example, in machine learning, we now have systems that can learn from vast amounts of data and perform tasks that were once thought to be exclusive to humans.
Like what?
Well, we have AI systems that can generate incredibly realistic images and videos.
Wow.
Compose original music. And even write poetry that's indistinguishable from human written verse.
That's pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
So we're not just talking about some distant sci-fi fantasy. This is happening now.
It's happening now, and the pace of innovation is only accelerating.
Wow. So it's impossible to predict with certainty.
It is.
When we might achieve true AGI.
Yeah.
But many experts believe it could be within our lifetime.
Potentially. Yeah. It's an exciting time to be alive.
It is. Okay, so let's say for a moment that we do achieve AGI in the next few decades.
Right.
What kind of world could we create with such a powerful tool?
The possibilities are truly mind-boggling.
Okay.
Imagine a world where disease is eradicated.
Wow.
Poverty is eliminated, and climate change is reversed.
Right.
A world where we have access to clean energy, personalized education, and boundless opportunities for creative expression.
It sounds like a utopia.
It does sound like a utopia.
But is it really achievable?
That's the question, isn't it?
I mean, every new technology comes with its own set of challenges, unintended consequences.
You're right. There's no guarantee that AGI will be a force for good.
Right.
It's a powerful tool that can be used for both benevolent and malevolent purposes.
Right.
That's why it's so crucial that we think carefully about the ethical implications of AGI and work to ensure that it's used wisely and for the benefit of all humankind.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into AGI, what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
I think the most important message is that we all have a role to play in shaping the future of AGI. Yeah. It's not something that's going to happen to us. Right. It's something we create together.
So it's not just about being passive observers.
Exactly.
It's about being active participants in this technological revolution.
Active participants. I like that.
We need to educate ourselves about the technology.
Yes.
Engage in conversations about its ethical implications. And advocate for responsible development and use.
Couldn't agree more.
It sounds like a call to action.
It is a call to action.
What can our listeners do specifically to get involved?
Well, there are many ways to engage. Right. Stay informed about the latest developments in AI research and policy. Join online forums and communities to discuss the ethical and societal implications of AGI. Support organizations that are working to promote responsible AI development. And most importantly, use your voice to advocate for the kind of future you want to see.
That's a powerful message to end on. The future of AGI is not predetermined.
It's not.
It's something we shape with our choices and actions.
With our choices and actions. I love that.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AGI.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope it sparked your curiosity.
Yes.
And inspired you to think critically about the future we're creating together.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
Keep questioning.
And keep imagining the possibility.
And keep imagining the possibilities.